What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Guys, we're about to do an updated tier list for weapons. That's right, SJW weapons are now going to be updated. Now, before I do this updated tier list, I do want to give a little bit of a breakdown of my thoughts on the new system of weapon releases. Now, this is becoming a little bit more difficult now to actually keep up with. Now, the reason why I say this is if you guys haven't noticed, the last two weapons have become a mandatory for most players to have in order to compete for hard mode. And what we're talking about is the Transfiguration Key and the Rogue that came out the last patch for Dark, and of course now the Gale and Soma and Ashura, which is the newest wind weapons for SJW. Now, this is going to probably be the new ebb and flow, guys, of how games are going to be, or this game is going to specifically release weapons. And with that being said, they are going to be must-haves. And with that being said, it's going to be really hard for people to keep up. Whether you're free to play or pay to win, these are going to be weapons you're going to want to have in your arsenal in order to beat the content. So with that being said, let's go through all the weapons now, give you guys a brand new tier list, and talk about which ones you should be going for, which ones are top tier, and which ones are not that great anymore. And there is going to be some adjustments, guys, made on this tier list based on our utility, keeping in mind for the fact that we now have Dark and Wind with overload weapons and brand new DPS weapons, and we still have 3 other elements to go, which will be coming probably in the next few months to clear out the older weapons. So this tier list is going to change quite drastically in the near future. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're back at it again. So let's just get a couple things out of the way. This is an older tier list, unfortunately, but we are going to talk a little bit about what is good, what is bad. Now, I normally have a triple S tier list. I'm going to go ahead and add that again because I think it's important to honestly have one extra tier. We've been doing it all along, so why not keep up with it? So we're going to go ahead and delete all of these categories here. We're not going to put any categories, but I think you guys will pretty much understand what goes where once I've completed this. Now, as usual, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your notifications on, and don't forget to also leave a comment if you agree or disagree with this tier list. So without further ado, guys, let's jump in. I'm going to do this part fairly quickly. We're going to get these out of the way. And you guys can see this tier list does possess hunter weapons. Honestly, if you have a hunter, get their weapon. There's no like substitute here in this game. If a hunter exists, if you plan to use that hunter, their weapon is mandatory. Quite honestly, there's almost no excuse nowadays to get a hunter's weapon to 810 because red tickets for free to play or pay to win players are super easy to get. So we're gonna ignore all hunter weapons here, guys. And when it comes down to SR weapons, unfortunately, they have pretty much lost their luster. They used to be something that was a lot of fun. Rest in peace, Westwind. There is one weapon that still holds some value, and that's the Night Killer, but only for honestly defense pen bosses, and even then it's kind of useless for guild boss mostly. So everything else kind of sits in the bottom here. We're gonna put D's and C's together, and you really won't be using any of these. Again, rest in peace, Westwind. That used to be probably the funnest part of the game, is using that weapon to finish all content. But hey, you know what? We're a new era of solo leveling, have been for a while, and unfortunately, those weapons no longer hold a handle to the SSR weapons. Now, with that being said, not every SSR weapon is built the same. And quite honestly, they've done quite a bit of modifications and adjustments to many weapons. They've buffed many weapons, and quite frankly, some of them just still sit in the bottom rung. So let's start with that first, and that's going to be Scatty. That's right, Scatty still is absolute shit. I don't know how many more times they can try to make this weapon worthwhile and people use it, but it still does suck. So continue to not using this weapon, guys. There's way better things out there. It's Vulcan's Rage, aka what I call Vulcan's Dildo. That's right, it's going to continue to be called that. It is still a shitty weapon and really is not to be used almost by anybody except for Mr. Gigi, who used it to win the competition one year. So shout out to him on that one. So what else do we have here? So in terms of Zeke's is pretty bad. It probably is a bit better than the rest of them. I will put it up here, but it is one of the worst weapons in the game, and I continuously keep getting it for some odd reason. So just, game hates me, so that's what we're doing here. And then next up is going to be A's. We're going to do the Scythe. Honestly, I would probably put the Scythe down here as well too. It's kind of useless. So let's just keep going here. We'll keep going up here, okay? So we have we'll say Huntsman is A. All right, it's not great. They've done a buff to it recently. I don't know if it's honestly worthwhile. It might be better than it was before. I quite honestly haven't tested it since the buff, but from my understanding, from everyone that I've seen use it, still kind of the same. Yeah, the Demon Knight, the Guild Spear, quite honestly was really good in the beginning for AoE. Still might have some uses for some BOT, but outside of that, I don't see quite anybody using it anymore. So I'd probably put that there. Speaking of not using something anymore, let's be real. This fire bow, the Phoenix bow, which was awesome back in the day, has lost a lot of its appeal. Not many people care about it anymore. That's been replaced. I will say this on the tier list. I did add a couple of the guild weapons, so like the spear and the phantom blade, and also added in the Himmel sword because a lot of people still, you know, have it. Many of you don't, but some people do, and I still wanted to include it in here. Okay, so I think that's a pretty decent roundup of we'll put Kasaka blade honestly in here as well too. I'd say not great, still probably belongs there. And then we'll put the tail fox, gold tail fox, which is an event weapon, by the way, here in the A section as well too. Again, I'm being a little bit more like strict on the way I grade these now, because I know there's a lot more people playing the game. I want to make sure you guys get the best information I possibly can. Okay, plum sword, which used to be the best weapon in the damn game, will sit in S. Still gives really good buffs, but you'll never see anybody using it that often anymore unless it's for a BOT. But quite honestly, it still deserves the love that it gets from being the best weapon in the game for such a long time to still being a fairly decent weapon to be used in the game at the moment as it sits in the new meta, right? So we'll say Demon King longsword up there as well too. And you'll see here, like, there's not many weapons to choose between anymore, so we're starting to get down here. Demon King daggers, honestly, I'll put this in SS. It's still pretty damn good. And I'll say the fan is honestly like way better, so we'll put that there. We're gonna go ahead and put Alon's orb up here. The scythe I'm gonna put in SS. This one's tough because this is a really good buffing weapon, and this weapon is a good water weapon, so I almost want to put them in double S, but they'll probably be the last of the double S section. Grimoire I'm gonna put in double S, only because it's only used for guild boss realistically, not nowhere else. Moonshadow daggers I'd say also double S, because again it is only really used in guild boss, nothing else, right? Like, or I guess POC if you're running a non-defense or non-DPS Sun Jinwoo, which nowadays you're kind of running Sun Jinwoo as DPS because they buffed him in all team mode, so it's kind of weird not to give him that, you know, that love that he deserves now, which makes these ones a little bit less viable now going forward. Now back in the day these would be a top tier for sure, but right now I'd say they're a little bit lower, right? Quarterstaff, honestly I'd say it's still triple S, but yeah, I'll put double S here only because one reason the Phantom Blade is actually a bit better. Believe it or not, a free-to-play guild weapon is actually a little bit better than the Quarterstaff. Depending on how you set up the combo. I'm gonna give Stormbringer still a triple S for now. I think that's going to change very drastically very soon. I feel like it's going to be replaced as soon as people get your A5s and Asura and Moonlight Gale. You won't be using Stormbringer very much anymore. But for now, for those who don't have that combination, like my free-to-play, for example, I use this to finish Legaia. But let's be real, when Legaia goes to hard mode, this combination of weapons will not be a viable option any longer. So that's why we got to be a little bit more strict. Inoue Roar definitely deserves the love that it gets at triple S. And then we have, of course, Radiru Spear, which right here will also get a triple S, which is the top two fire weapons. These will be for sure replaced, guys, as soon as the fire elemental weapons come out. But for now, they sit here, and you'll see them probably go down quite a bit later on. So just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes down to the best weapons in the game, I don't believe it's the actual wind weapons. The reason why I say this is because Ashura and Soma take up so much MP that it's sometimes difficult to manage. So I will say this, that I believe the Rogue and the Transfiguration Key were the perfect combination of weapons to be released. I think these are my personal two best weapons, both free to play, pay to win. Even though these two do more damage right now because it is the wind element week right now, or month right now. But when it comes down to the total like usability, friendliness, when it comes down to MP consumption, overall gameplay, I find the Rogue and the Transfiguration Key to be the best ones out there right now. So even though it's not the dark element right now, guys, this is the best weapon combination in my opinion in the game. When it comes down to actual usability, these two will currently be the meta because it is wind. And of course, Himmel Sword, I'm gonna leave it for last. It is still the best, I'd say, buffing weapon for light, and you definitely want to use this if you are using the Phantom Blade. Remember, free-to-play players, you can get this to A5 for free if you are collecting the chest. You can go check out the video back then to see what I'm talking about. I break it down fully and show you guys exactly how to do it. All right, folks, there's the tier list. Let me know what you guys think. Not many weapons to go through, but hey, we did it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections. Of course, thank you so much for watching. Happy Father's Day to all you old folks like me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.